Hi and welcome to week one, pose one. So for the next 7 days, I would love it if you can build this pose, make this pose on your mat and get into it and give yourself the gift of 20 minutes. Some days, I will admit, because I am doing this with you, I'm working right alongside you. Some days are really hard. 20 minutes is a lot. Some days it might seem like your mind just will not settle. Your body will not settle. But see if you can push through it as long as you can. Other days you are going to lay there for 20 minutes. Your body is going to totally relax. Your mind will totally relax. And you will be like, oh my goodness, I needed this so much. Whether you fall one extreme or the other or somewhere in between is perfectly okay. You can't do restorative yoga wrong. Even if you only get to spend 5 minutes in a pose, you're still 5 minutes more rested than you were 5 minutes ago. So for today's pose, this pose is called Stonehenge. We are going to, if we have yoga props, take 2 of our blocks with our bolster. We're also going to take our pillow. This is our pillow we're going to rest our head on. We're going to put that on one end of the mat. We're going to take the 2 blocks, place them side by side on the lower level. So I guess the second level up, not the lowest, second level up. We're going to take our bolster and place it over top. This is where the pose gets its name from. I'll see if I can kind of pick this up and show you. But here we go, Stonehenge. For those of you who do not have the bolster and the blocks, I'm just going to shove this down a little bit and I'm going to show you what you can use around your house that will give you the same effect. Again, you can use the VHS tapes taped up for the blocks and place your bolster on top. If you grab some of your pillows, so the ones I showed you in the other video were these pillows, which are a nice height. If we're doing Stonehenge, we want a little bit thicker pillows. So these ones are off my couch. So you can see they're probably about double the thickness. So I'm going to place one of these pillows on my mat. And again, you're either going to do one or the other, not both. I just have both here to show you. We're going to get the same effect. We're going to take 2 of our blankets. So the blankets we want quite, thick, quite structure to them. We want the thickness. We want to add height here to represent the bolster. So we're going to take our Mexican blanket, if we have it, or our blanket from our bed, or whatever we're going to do. We're going to fold it half up and down. We're going to fold it half again this way. And then from here, the funny thing to keep in mind with these blankets, or anything in your restorative yoga practice, restorative yoga is very much the princess and the pea. So you're going to want to make sure there's no wrinkles, there's no bumps, that the blankets are all nice and soft. Otherwise, it'll drive you crazy throughout the practice. Once we have the bolster folded, or the blanket folded that way, we're going to fold it one more time this way, and then one more time this way. So again, when we place it here, again, these fringes are really nice. Princess and the pea, they're going to drive you crazy. So either put them, maybe for this pose on the inside, unless you have bare legs. That way they're not tickling the back of your leg. My second blanket here I have already folded. I'm going to place that on top. So you'll see basically we're getting the same height between the blankets and between the bolster and the blocks. So to come into this, I'm going to take the bolster and the blocks off. I'm going to get into this pose using the pillow and the blankets. When we come down again, we want to make sure we have our nice head pillow here. We want to have either our eye pillow or our sleep mask handy. We want to have a blanket handy that we can cover up with. For the poses throughout the weeks, I won't be covering myself with a blanket because I want you to see how my body's set up, how to set up into the pose. But I do suggest you do that. Your body will cool. You're going to want that nice extra layer of warmth, that nice extra layer of comfort on top of your body. The other thing you're going to want that I don't have is nice comfy socks on. So getting yourself a nice comfy pair of socks before you get on your mat, gather your props, set them up. Last thing you're going to want to do before you get into the pose, we're going to try to go for 20 minutes. So again, you can do Google. I always like to say, hey Google, set a timer for 20 minutes. You can put a timer on your phone. The only thing I suggest is to change the ringer to something something nice and soft, something nice and gentle, you know, nice little, you know, nature sounds or little bells, not the real big annoying, you know, when your alarm goes off, because otherwise you're going to be nice and relaxed, nice and calm, and that noise is just going to, you know, bring you out of it very abruptly, and we don't want to have that happen. So turning down the ringer volume, picking something nice, grabbing your props, getting into the pose. I'll show you how to get this into this 1 minute, and we'll get into it together. Set your timer for 20 minutes tonight. I will not stay in here on the video with you for 20 minutes. I will stay in the pose with you for 20 minutes as well, just behind the scenes, not really on the video with you. So once you get into the pose, the video hopefully will just end. This will stay nice and quietly, or you can watch me get into the pose, you can turn the video off, and you can set your timer for 20 minutes. Sometimes I get asked what time of day is best to do your restorative yoga, and that's a personal preference. Try playing around with it, see if it works for you in the morning, see if it works for you in the night. For me personally, I like restorative yoga right before bed. When I know I'm getting ready to go, put my jammies on, end of my day, get totally ready for bed, and that way it's almost, for me, it's like I get that brain dump. You know, my brain has that chance to relax and let go and release before I get into bed, so that I actually sleep better. So try different times of the day. Try right before bed and see if that works for you, and let me know how that works. So when we're ready, making sure we have all our props handy, we are going to just lay back down, bringing the back of our shins onto either, you know, the back of our bolster, the back of our blankets, coming down. Again, here I would take a blanket, wrap myself up, cover myself with that, and then either taking my eye mask or my, you know, my eye pillow, my sleep mask, placing it on. Obviously, I would dim the lights more too. Placing your arms down alongside your body, and then again playing, noticing how you feel in the moment. We're going to hold this for 20 minutes, making yourself as comfortable as possible, perhaps taking the arms up so they're like 90 degrees, taking them back down, palms up, palms down. See what works for you. And when you're ready, taking a big inhale in, exhaling out with a loud sigh. And then if you're like me, you say, "Hey Google, set timer for 20 minutes.
Set your timer for 20 minutes.
And we will see you next week on the mat."